Okay, I hadn't made a video in a while, so I figured I'd go ahead and make one. Some people was asking me about the pig. I'll do an update on it in here too. But this is the sweet potatoes that I got this year. The sweet potato that I started out with was about the same size as this one, the one I got all the shoots off of. So, I mean, you can compare it to my hand there. It's a pretty good sized potato. The rest of them are, you know, some of them are okay, some of them are a little bit small. But we'll throw them in the steamer, the little small ones. The bigger ones, well, I may slice and throw in the steamer, or either we'll just bake them. But, or throw them in the microwave and then bake them. I just wanted to show you the okra this year. My okra got up somewhere around about 10.5 foot to 11 foot, that one stalk right there is. We've had okra, I've put up about 20 gallons of okra off of this, just this okra here. And then I've give probably another 4 gallons away. So just off of that little okra. But the reason I didn't have that many sweet potatoes is we had our tomatoes here. And some of the sweet potatoes was off behind them and they got shaded from the okra and the tomatoes. But we had one on that end there that grew up kind of in between those. And it got some sun on it, so it grew a pretty decent little bunch on it. But the other ones were down here. Sorry about walking, a little bit shaky when it walked. But, we had the ones on this end didn't do that good because of the shading of this okra here. But the ones on that end down there did really good. Another thing is on this okra, if you grow an okra and you can see about how far. I've got probably 4 foot in between them two plants here. But they started getting really bushy and I was having a hard time finding the okra in there. If you'll just go in when you have your okra and it's starting to get big, and just take your finger and you can just pop those leaves off. Leave enough of greenery though to keep the plant alive, but you can see how thinned out mine are, and some of them fell because of it's getting a little bit colder. A lot of it was just I kept them because the new leaves will come out. The new part of the okra that's growing will have leaves on it and you don't have to worry about it. But it'll put out probably more okra with less leaves because it's not having to keep all the leaves supported. So, but there's what that is, and I'm gonna walk down here to the pig pen. But I did put me some purple tops out and some turnip greens and some mustard greens. So we got that in. When I put them out, we had just dry weather, so I tried to water it with that watering system, which is hard to do, but a lot of it came up. My mom, we planted over at her garden, and I actually watered it by hand, and we have just tons of it. I just put a little bit over here just if we wanted to mess in the evenings without having to run over there. So it's growing. Once we get the cold weather, it'll kill all the grass, and we'll be able to see more of because there's beans mixed in there. There's some, I think some Crowder peas over there. I mean, it's just everything that was in there got churned up when I turned it with the tiller. So there's just all kind of these, even I think some squash in there. But we had our grapes this year, had a good run on them. On the end right here, we've got a really good muscadine vine going. And right beside it, we got a scuffydine. So we getting pretty good on our grapes and stuff. We just eat them this year. We didn't really put them in jellies because we had so much put up already. But tomatoes did pretty good over there. They didn't do as good as the very first ones we had out that were right in here. But they put out some tomatoes. They probably maybe 5 gallons came off of all those tomato plants there. So we didn't do bad off of them. Peach trees this year, the squirrels got the peaches, so maybe next year they'll have a few more on it, and I'm gonna spray some hot pepper on them. The pear trees down there next to the gazebo did pretty good. We got 3 pears off of them all together. They're just getting started though. Next year hopefully we'll have a good, because pear trees are kind of funny. One year you'll have a good run on them, the next year you may not. So alright, well, I'm gonna run down here to the pig and I'll make a video, and then I'll blend all this together. Y'all have a good. I just wanted to stop here at the chickens and show you them. This is my Barred Rocks, and he's a good looking rooster. He's and you can tell how fat these chickens are. I mean, they're just huge compared to the Rhode Island Reds. One thing I am going to do, I'll show you over here. They will eat the food off of the ground, but it takes a while for them to clean it up. I filled this all the way to the top, and I shouldn't have. I try to usually keep it about just halfway, because it puts so much pressure on it, the food wants to kind of fall out the side if they start pecking at it really hard. So, but yeah, there they are, and they're laying. I've got 1 rooster and 9 hens, and I got 8 eggs yesterday and 7 today so far. So they're laying really well. My Rhode Island Red, he looks really large, but I've took 3 of them and butchered them, and they're not that much meat. There's more on the Barred Rocks. And the ducks have quit laying. Here's the new way that I'm doing my food. I'll show you inside. This is just a 90, a street ale, and you can see where I cut the little slot on each side, and it lets the food in. And then I took in the middle of the trash can and put a block of wood and screwed it to the bottom, and then I don't know if you'll be able to tell it, but I took this 90 and shot it. Yeah, you can see 1 screw right there. Right in there. It's shot back into that wood so it can't come loose. And this here, when I cut this out, I cut it out as about a 2-inch hole. And then I kind of did it as a, let me see if I can draw it out here. Let's say this is it, and then I done it. I cut the slots out this way, but I cut a little bit out each time. Every other one I cut out, so that when I folded that in, I put a tie around it too to help hold it in. But I've took my water out of my ducks' pond. The ducks, like I say, they've quit laying, and these, I don't know what breed of chickens these are. Somebody may know. I just bought them, and the lady, that's what she had at the time. I didn't really care about breeds, but now I'm trying to get into more of the Barred Rocks and the Rhode Island Reds. But these girls are about 3 years old, so they're getting ready to, probably next spring, I'll get rid of them. I may get rid of them here before spring if I get a chance. We've got so much meat in the freezer right now, chicken, where we did all those boys. I think we did 4 of them my son had, and I did 3 of mine, and I did 1 hen that was older. So we'll just wait and see. I may just feed them through the winter and then get them this spring. We may can it. I don't know. My wife and me, we might go ahead and get rid of them and can them so I don't have to feed them all winter. But yeah, this just part of my chicken stuff here. I need to put some more pellets. They make little wood pellets that you can buy, and they turn into sawdust when you throw them out. And you can kind of see over there at the ducks where I've thrown some new out. But when they poop in it, it just absorbs it. So I don't know if I've, yeah, you can see where it's kind of just sawdust in there. It turns into just sawdust. So I usually just put a little water on it. It's actually horse bedding. But that's my chickens, and I'll head on down here to the goats here, and I'll show you Robert and all. So hang on, and we'll head down that way. He's doing really good. He's been after the girls. The only thing is I can't let him get out and get into Snowflake over there. Poor old Wiggles, they've been eating so much. You can see where my wife's been letting them out, and they've been eating leaves. They're just filling up. And there's Mama. I put her on that side. I let her over here probably once every 2 days, you know, for a little while, just so if she's not pregnant, he can do his business. But I put their salt licks up. I don't know if I showed this on another video, but I went out and built a little thing because they have a shed there, and I put their salt licks, and you can see where they've been eating the corner and licking the corner of that one. Mama and them, I had theirs on the inside because I didn't want it to get rained on. I had it right behind where about her bowl is, right in yonder, and she kept jumping on it. And I've got 2 places where I put straw up in these corners here because there's a shelf in there and I put straw. Well, she was getting on it and then jumping up to the straw and going up there and eating, and she would poop and pee on it and then they wouldn't eat it. So I had to, well, that's where all that came from. So I went in and took it out and put it out here, and I leaned it to where the water would stay off of it, and I didn't mean to lean it quite that much, but my battery was dead by the time I noticed it, so I'll change it one day. But yeah, Snowflake, she's doing good. Ain't you, girl? Yeah. Yeah. But she's really friendly. Her mama's not so friendly. I mean, she'll let you pet her every now and then, but Snowflake's really friendly. I took a lot of time with her and really petted her a lot, took a lot of time and talked to her, and she's just like Wiggles now to me. But there's the goats. That's the only really update I've done on them. It's just pretty much got Robert and letting him do his business, and we just been kind of letting them go and feeding them, and we took and sold 2 of them. Sneezy here, she's pretty good about letting you pet her too. But we sold all of our goats that we had, so we took and turned around, and my accountant that does my taxes, she bought 2 of them. So we're doing pretty good with the goats. I got probably all of them next year. If these have at least 2 each next year, I've got all them sold already. So we're doing pretty good. Snowflake I'm going to keep there. I think she's so unique with all that white on her, and I wanted to keep one of Marshall's babies, and my daughter's got, they call him Rocky over there, and he's all white. And he's starting to get a beard just like Marshall did, so we'll have a little Marshall Jr. here before long, but they call him Rocky. Alright, well, let me head down here to the pig and I'll show you him or her. Okay, there she is. She's getting bigger. The 2 pigs that I bought before were about this size when I got them, but it took her almost a little over a month to get that big, and I've been feeding her just a hog mash that she's been eating. It's not a real, real high protein, but it's like 12%, I think. But she's been eating table scraps too, so. But she's getting pretty big. You can see she's knocked just about everything in here down. When I turned the fence on, she wouldn't come out of her pen there. I mean, out of her little barn thing here. She would not come out. It would scare her to death because she'd get hit by that. Well, you can see then it just something made a noise and she thought it got her. But she is scared to death of that fence now. She will not come around that fence at all. She'll get close to it, but not too close. But she's kind of trampled it all back down, filled in all the little ditches that were in here. She's actually done a good job at getting all the weeds out now, except for just a few. She loves table scraps. We still feed her through the tube, my wife does. Every now and then we have to go in. I've got to get a new bucket for her to drink out of, but that little plastic bucket, she can get her head down there. It's starting to get harder and harder, so. But we're going to try and get her up here before long. Maybe by spring she'll be ready to butcher. So, alright, well, I'll talk to y'all later. I'll put all this in a video, and if anything else comes up, I'll make some more videos. Y'all have a good one.